What's up, everyone? Welcome back to BKNY Hoops. If you're new to the channel, I am your host, as always, Rasheed White. All right, you guys see the title. You see the thumbnail there. Sean Marks actually gets an A++++, and if I can actually give him more pluses, I definitely would. Now, I said about a month prior to the season when the final roster was actually... excuse me, when the final roster was actually done, I said this is a deep roster. They're too deep at every single position. And you seen Ben Simmons, he was in foul trouble, and I wanted to kind of pull my hair out a little bit because I was gonna roast him. I'm like, man, listen, you know Spencer Dinwiddie's out. You know what's his name? Dennis Smith Jr. is out. You don't really have another guy at the point guard position there to really kind of back him up. So you have to be really, really careful on how you actually play defense and how you actually be, in terms of the level of physicality that you actually got to bring out. So he didn't do that. But then you got Trendon Watford, who's actually a replica of him, maybe a better shooter. But in terms of like 6'8", can handle the basketball. And I was trying to find some highlights of last night's game from him. I'm surprised that there was nothing really there. But he did an excellent job really kind of running the offense. I mean, he didn't really over-dribble. He got rid of the basketball when he needed to. When he seen like openings, he actually took it and was able to actually, get layups, penetrate the lane pretty much. But let's look at the roster over here because this roster is a really, 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 really good roster. I'm trying to tell people that. Now, there's a show out there called The Locker Room, and yesterday he was actually trashing the Brooklyn Nets, saying how this team is actually a first, and they're not going to make it past the first round. Now, we were minus three starters and a rotation player in terms of Dennis Smith Jr., and look what actually happened over there. And I know people want to clown on Ben Simmons for, how he actually performed 4 points, but he was really, really vital. Because I was going to tear him a new one, but then I'm like, hold on, man. He was actually really, really vital in terms of that win right there. So. Let's look at the roster over here, man. This is... I want to actually look at the old roster pretty much, but this is the final roster. We know what's actually there, but a lot of people do have goldfish memories. So I think this was the actual, this goes to previous roster. Let's see, previous season. Let's see if they actually had that there. Yeah, Kessler, Edwards, Kyrie Irving. I mean, look at this over here, man. It's just like night and day over here, man. A lot of these guys, Ben Simmons was actually hurt. So there's a lot of guys actually coming back and actually getting healthy over there. But see, with this roster right here, I mean, Spencer Dinwiddie can actually really truly take his time. Cameron Johnson, I mean, these guys can actually really take their time coming back. You don't have to really rush them. I mean, they're 2 in a row. I mean, they technically should be 4-0. I mean, they beat themselves the first couple of games. And you go look at the plus minuses over here for, especially like I said, Trendon Watford. He's going to get his own separate video. But I mean, I think we found that backup point guard right there, man. It's tough. It's tough because you got Dinwiddie, who's a really good point guard, but you see a plus 19. I don't know, man. This is if I was a coach, I would kind of be tearing my hair out because you have so many options, man. And then people were concerned that the Brooklyn Nets actually lost 3-point shooters. I said, no, we got 3-point shooters. We got Lonnie Walker that can hit threes. Armani Brooks, who can hit threes. And look at his field goal percentage, 6 out of 7. I mean, 5 out of 6. So, I mean, we got athletic guys. That's the key thing. Athleticism. Jalen Wilson, he's athletic. I mean, he can get downhill. He's explosive off the dribble. So Mikal Bridges, I mean, like I said, Mikal Bridges didn't really have to work too hard. He didn't really have to carry this team. Yeah, they gave him a minus 14. Damn, I mean, I thought he had really, really good steals, man. He played the passing lanes really well. I think he did a really, really, really good job. So this team is actually going to really, really, truly surprise people. Like you saw the Miami Heat last year, and they were a 8th seed, and they went to the NBA Finals. So there's a blueprint out there on how to actually play basketball there the right way. Jacques Vaughn even talked about this. You had Cam Thomas actually trying to do too much by himself. He had an awful game yesterday, but that's okay though. That's all right. He had an awful game. I mean, he still actually commanded a lot of attention from the Miami Heat. So now they saw what he was actually doing. The scouting report is actually out on him now, and he actually made it possible. Same thing with Ben Simmons. They were not allowing. They double Ben every single time. They was not going to allow Ben Simmons to actually really beat them. I thought he could have had a better game if he didn't get himself in foul trouble so much. But sometimes, listen, you know, and that's the whole thing too, man. You have to be physical. I mean, I talked about this in the past on the show over here. Like, there's a lot of players out there that they don't like the physicality, man. Now, you saw they were getting physical with Tyler Hero. You see the frame on him. He's not really like an overly athletic guy, and you know, they were able to impose their will on them defensively, hit them, bump them. You know, even if you get the foul calls, and Ben Simmons, he was a little overly aggressive, some stupid fouls, but this is what you actually have to do over here, man. You know, sometimes, now I think if the Nets were actually at home, that they wouldn't, maybe they wouldn't, like, you know, those little ticky-tack fouls, they wouldn't even call on them. But it shows you the toughness over there of Ben right there, that he, you know, Jacques Vaughn. I mean, he was some excellent coaching from him, that outcoached the great Eric Spoelstra over there, who's supposed to be this mastermind coach. But his rotations was actually really good. The substitution pattern, I mean, it was just really, 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 really good, man. Really, really good. Lonnie Walker. Now, that show I was telling you about, the locker room. Now, let's get back to Reggie from the locker room. He was making this argument that, because we don't have Kevin Durant, we don't have Kyrie Irving, they were the main reasons why the Brooklyn Nets actually made the playoffs last year. All right, so I mean, once they got traded, that was like during half the season right there, half the season. All right, that was like at like right at the All-Star break. They still had 40 games to go, and they actually had to maintain the 6th seed. Now, if Dinwiddie, they asked him to do more ball handling responsibility right there. Again, he does not want to be a point guard. He wants to be a 2. He wants to score. There was a lot of end of game mistakes over there that was actually made from him. Listen, this is not a fanboy channel. I'm just being real. All right, I'm calling it actually how I see it. He lost us at least 10 games last year by end of game situations. You know, either by shot selection, turning the ball over, indecisiveness. He doesn't want to run no offense. So the good thing is that we actually have guys that can. So this is actually really a tough situation for Vaughn, because Vaughn, because Trendon Watford actually looked really, really, really good. He looked really good. This is, you know, I think if everybody just stays, because Dinwiddie's looking for a new contract. So what does he want? More playing time? This is a tough situation over here, man. This is a good problem to actually have, and just everybody actually stays happy and just understands the bigger picture. Guys, stay ready. You know, don't think because you're deep on the roster that, you know, you won't get in the game, and, you know, just, you know, be mentally engaged, you know, be mentally ready. A lot of this is mindset, really. So I'll wrap this video up. Definitely like, comment, subscribe, certainly share this video. When you share, the universe certainly shares back with you. Peace.